As we approached the station, the crew and I began to once again review the mission. Station Beta Phi had been set up about a year prior as a remote research station designed to study data from the far reaches of the galaxy. A small crew of 3 had been selected for the station, each of whom had a specialty. Our mission was kind of an unusual one. Of course, unannounced checkups on research stations were not unheard of, at least not before our mission had been gone for more than a year or so. But the commander at Centauri 1 had noticed that there had been no station updates sent to him since the Station Beta Phi had been set up. He thought that was suspicious. So my crew was sent out on the Wilson to check up on Beta Phi and figure out what was going on. Of course, on the 2-week trip, there was a lot of time to speculate about what had happened. Edgerton said there must be developing some kind of secret technology that they weren't allowed to talk about. Benson guessed the entire station had been wiped out by some kind of alien virus. Personally, I decided to believe whatever was the most boring thing. If you get too excited about what you might find, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I figured the station was so far away, there just wasn't anything worth reporting. As the Wilson approached the planetoid, you could tell something was not right. For one thing, there were no lights visible. For a second thing, one of the escape pods was missing. As the Wilson landed, we prepared to disembark, making sure our own exploration suits were secure. We entered through the airlock, but opted to keep on our suits in case there was something in the air. A co-pilot Bigelow was tuned into our radios from the spaceship. Making our way through the blackened corridors, we saw the bare metallic walls of the station through the green glare of our infrared visors. There was no damage visible, but even for a remote space station, there was a disquieting stillness to the air, as if the space itself were waiting for something. Eventually, we got to the main plaza, the space designated for crew briefings and meals. While Benson turned on the light, Ross and Edgerton searched the surrounding area. When the door opened, the squeaking of the hinges cutting through the silence in the room like a knife through butter, and causing us all to duck instinctively. Turning towards the sound, I saw a meek man wearing a lab coat, standing in the doorway. Who are you? Jeffrey Manfield. We're from Centauri 1. We've come to check up on you. You shouldn't have come here. By the looks of things, I can't see how that can be true. Where are the others? Cut the lights and follow me. With that, he ran out of the room. Figuring we had no other choice, I had Benson turn off the lights before we followed him back through the doorway. We ended up in the research lab, and as soon as we were in, Manfield began babbling about something or other, but I couldn't help but feel my attention drift to a human-sized lump under a sheet in the corner. I understand what you were doing, but there's nothing anybody could... What's that? What's what? What's that in the corner? Manfield seemed to deflate. That's Susan. Nothing suspicious with her, believe it or not. She just tripped and fell. Head trauma. Probably the best thing considering all that's happened. But what has happened? What's going on, and why didn't you tell anybody? Manfield stopped abruptly, swallowed, and began to speak again. The first few months, everything was business as usual. But one day, I noticed some strange signals coming from beyond the galactic rim. It wasn't anything dramatic, just a few numbers that didn't add up. But I told Roger, and he decided to take up one of the space pods and see if he could find anything. Yeah, he couldn't see anything, but once I gave him the directions, and the readings on his monitors were going crazy as well, then they suddenly cut out, and I couldn't hear anything, and then the radio busted and I couldn't send any signals. So why didn't you try to send any message to Centauri 1? Really, if I don't understand what's happening, I can't expect anybody from Centauri to help. But I think I know. There's gotta be something here. What do you mean? The main reason I came to this place was to study dark matter. 90% of the universe is this stuff, but we know nothing about it. I think we may have found a living organism made from dark matter that was attracted to our station. Do you have any proof? Of course I don't. It's the nature of dark matter. You can only tell it exists by how it impacts other things. Gravity and radiometry are affected by its presence, but you can't see it directly. But I've sensed it. I felt it. That's why I turned all the lights off. It helps. Don't tell me you haven't felt something here since you landed. He had me there. There's certainly something strange in the air in Beta Phi, but I had my doubts it had anything to do with dark matter. As if to answer my suspicions, my radio cracked into life. I heard what he said and adjusted my scanners.
I think I may have found the crashed ship.
Manfield lit up. Really? That's wonderful. Where is it?
About 20 clicks to the southeast. Captain, I'd recommend Benson take Manfield to the area and check it out.
Good idea. Is there a spare suit you can use, Manfield? Yes, there's one left. Take it and go with Benson. We'll stay here and hold the fort. Once Edgerton and I were alone in the room, we muted our mics and began to look around. Edgerton checked out the body of Susan Rooney. Edgerton, I have a feeling Manfield might be a bit off in the head. Wait, it's taken you this long to notice? Couldn't exactly see while he was in the room. What happened to Rooney? Definitely head trauma. I don't think she slipped and fell. The bruising is consistent with a blow to the back of the head. What do you think? Cabin fever? Could be. And we left Benson alone with that nutcase. Which way did they go? We ran off towards the airlock and found the two of them grappling on the floor. Manfield was on top of him and screamed. Edgerton and I knocked Manfield off, but he stood back up and slammed into me. He hit hard for a scrawny guy. But Benson got back on his feet and the three of us were able to subdue him and bind his hands. As the two of them led Manfield back to the Wilson, I decided to search through the hallways of Beta Phi, looking for any evidence of what had happened. It was just as empty as when we first arrived, and I could imagine why somebody could go crazy there. It was so cold and bleak. No humanity. No life. Just thinking about being in this position made me feel as if a weight had been placed on my shoulders and a tension on my body. I could hear his cries and feel his sanity slipping away. I felt sorry for the poor sap. As I made my way back to the Wilson, I could hear Manfield pleading with Edgerton. You've got to believe me. Yeah, right. I didn't know what I was doing. I believe you. You what? He's been alone in a space station surrounded by corpses for months. That's punishment enough, I think. We'll just take him back home and recommend the whole place be decommissioned. Edgerton looked confused, but I knew he would question my judgment. I sat down in the pilot seat next to Bigelow. Shall we go then? Sure thing, sir. That's odd. The sensors are acting funny. We seem to be carrying more weight than we should. Should we postpone takeoff, sir? Probably just a glitch. We'll calibrate the sensors once we get back home.